Well, good morning. It is Thursday, March 4th. The weekend is almost here. Whew, but who's counting? Well, thanks for spending another day with me on this 3 News Now morning update. I'm Danielle Wiggins. And remember to share your thoughts on the stories covered. I'll be looking for them and responding to your comments and what you have to say. And as always, let me know your name and where you're watching from. Holly Strano will join us in just a minute. If you like springtime temperatures, oh, you are going to like her forecast. But first, here's a look at some of the stories that we'll be covering in this edition of 3 News Now. Baker and Emily Mayfield have a close encounter with what they believed was a UFO overnight. What they're saying on Twitter. Plus, another strange sighting is causing commotion all over Northeast Ohio. The mystery behind it just ahead. And you could benefit from an additional credit when filing your taxes this year. Stay tuned for that. But right now, let's take a look. Yes, another lovely morning in downtown Cleveland. A bit cloudy right now, but it's safe to say we've been spoiled with plenty of sunshine this week. What can we expect this weekend in the weather department? Well, Holly has the answer.
Thanks, Danielle. And what a difference today, right? Lots of overcast skies on your National Design Mart forecast. We're seeing a lot of cloud cover even into the afternoon. Perhaps a flurry, chances extremely small. But one thing that's going to be very consistent is temperatures in the 30s. And then by this evening, we're talking 20s. We hit 54 yesterday, so that's a big change. And then overnight, we'll start to see some clearing, and that will make way for some Friday sunshine. But we're not going to see a big difference in our numbers tomorrow. We're still going to be talking highs in the 30s, and even into Saturday, it stays on the cooler side, but things will be changing, so you hang in there. For today, though, we're definitely feeling it, and 35 the high, so not moving much at all from where most of you started the day, quite honestly. Lots of overcast skies, as I mentioned. Fingers crossed for at least peeks of sunshine towards dinner time. And then we'll see more of the sunshine heading into the next couple of days on your Subaru 7-day outlook, but we're not going to see a lot of warmth, at least for the first part of the weekend. Highs will be in the 30s for tomorrow and for Saturday. Sunday, 40 degrees. That's more like it. And how about next week? Normal highs 42. We're talking highs in the low 50s on Monday, close to 60 on Tuesday, and literally in the 60s by next Wednesday. Danielle, back to you.
Well, thank you, Holly. We just need to make it through the weekend. Alrighty, a mystery overnight from Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield. He thinks he saw a UFO, and he's not the only one. His wife, Emily, apparently saw it too. Baker took to Twitter just before midnight saying that he saw a, quote, very bright ball of light going straight down out of the sky. He said it happened near Lake Travis in Austin when he and his wife were heading home after dinner. 20 minutes later, Emily followed saying, "What was that in Austin, Texas?" Emily also said she was a bit thrown off and that she's not typically into UFO talk, but all she knows is she saw something that she's never seen. So multiple people responded to the couple's tweets. You can read them on our website, WKYC.com. Some responses are pretty funny. Well, one response, this one I don't think, it said the stars are aligning for Baker to get that ring next season. Well, what do you think? Let me know in the comments section. Okay, in other strange news, is anyone missing a nose? You're probably like, Danielle, what are you talking about? Well, if so, we think we know where it is. Earlier this week, this mysterious nose sculpture just showed up at Rivergate Park along the Cuyahoga River. The sculpture is made of papier-mâché materials, added fabric, and has wood framing and tubular structures inside. But apparently, this isn't its first appearance. So video from the Cleveland Museum of Art's parade at the Circle features a glimpse of the nose as well. You see it there? Also, our team obtained this picture of the nose being transported on top of a small black car. And we are committed to solving this mystery. So if you know who this nose belongs to, let us know. Also, why do you think they dropped it there at the park? Join the conversation in the comments section. Of course, we always love hearing from you. And switching gears to more serious news, the state of Ohio is reporting 2,022 new COVID-19 cases on Wednesday. That's only slightly up from Tuesday, with an increase of 312. There were also 110 new hospitalizations reported. And this is all happening as our state enters a new phase of vaccine rollout. People in the group 1C, well, they are now eligible to get their shots starting today. That group includes those with type 1 diabetes, pregnant women, bone marrow recipients, and people with ALS. Also in the group, state and federal law enforcement officers and corrections officers, child care workers, and those in funeral services. Meantime, the once epicenter of the pandemic, New York City, is ramping up efforts to get more people vaccinated. They'll start administering the vaccines overnight at 3 mass vaccination sites. So this is for the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine that was granted emergency authorization by the Food and Drug Administration over the weekend. And overnight, the U.S. House approved legislation targeting police misconduct rather. The George Floyd Justice in Policing Act includes bans on chokeholds and no-knock search warrants. George Floyd's death in police custody last spring sparked nationwide calls to overhaul policing and address racial injustice. The measure is now heading to the Senate. And we are also following developing news at the Department of Homeland Security. And FBI, well, they have issued a warning that some domestic groups have discussed taking control of the Capitol as soon as today. Because of the threat, the House of Representatives is canceling today's sessions. Of course, we will keep you informed on this on our webpage, WKYC.com, and our digital platforms. All right, before we go, here are 3 things to know this morning. Starting with your tax return. If you had a drop in income this past year, or you had a child, you may be eligible for more stimulus from previous rounds of COVID relief. You should file your returns as quickly as possible to take advantage of a recovery rebate credit. And a new theme park is underway in Florida. After an 8-month coronavirus delay, work on Universal Orlando's 4th theme park is back under construction, but no end date is in sight. It is called Epic Universe, but Universal isn't saying much of anything about what's actually going in this park. The park was announced 2 years ago and is being built on 750 acres a few miles from existing resorts. And last but not least, tonight, right here on Channel 3 at 7, you can watch a special broadcast of the Greater Cleveland Sports Awards. Again, right here on WKYC. And just announced, the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission revealed that Cavs star Kevin Love will receive the Humanitarian of the Year award. It's due to his work helping people live their healthiest lives, mentally and physically. So make sure to catch the event, again, right here on WKYC tonight at 7. The show will be hosted by our very own Jay Crawford with interviews and presentations from Jim Donovan. So you do want to check that out. Well, thank you for taking time to join me for this 3 News Now morning update. As always, it's a pleasure to spend a few minutes with you on the WKYC digital platforms. Continue to check our social media pages and WKYC.com throughout the day for updates. I'm Danielle Wiggins, and remember to join the entire Go team tomorrow morning on Go, of course, starting bright and early, or like we like to say, dark and early at 4:30 a.m. Have a great day, everyone.